I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna do the first one with the VLookUP. Okay, so we have this information here. We have product, customer, invoice, transaction, a lot of information. We want to be able to select the invoice and bring the customer and the transaction. We're going to bring the customer first. For example, if I select the invoice number 10, the result of the customer is going to be computex, right? Yeah, I'm going to use the VLookUP for the first one, but there is the first thing. If you want to use the VLookUP using the invoice, because I want to select the number 10 and I need to bring the customer, but this one is to the left. The first thing, if I want to use the VLookUP, I need to move this one. Not to A. I need to move it to the right of the lookup value. For example, look, I'm going to put it after the invoice. That's one limitation of the VLookUP, because if I'm looking with the invoice, I only can bring this information, not the one that is before. Okay.
So what are you looking for?
I'm looking the first one to get the invoice and bring the customer. The only thing is that needs to be to the right of the invoice, because we're using the invoice as the guide. Let's do it together. Look. Okay, so you don't have problem. If you put the invoice at the beginning, you're good to go, because you can bring any of those fields, because all of them are going to be to the right. So you're good. I just put it here, so let's do it. In the VLookUP, here we created a drop-down list so we can select different invoices, right? I'm going to select the invoice number 10. And then here in the customer, I'm going to start with equals VLookUP. I select the VLookUP here. When I select it, it's going to put the parentheses for me. Now the lookup value. What is the lookup value? In my case, this one, right? Exactly, but it's a drop-down list, right, Charles? The drop-down list, perfect. So this one is going to be my lookup value, because depending on this is the result of the other information. Comma. Then it's asking me for table array. Table. This is not just one array, it's the entire information. So I go to sheet 2 where I got my information, but I need to start in invoice. In your case, it's good, Charles, because you have it in A1. But in my case, I cannot select anything to the left. And I'm going to select only to here because I don't need more information all the way. Right? I selected my area. I go back to the bar. I don't click.
Here you select the whole.
Not we can say from invoice to the right. But in my case, because I only want to bring the customer and the transaction. Look, it's here from B1 to E. So I selected from B to E. Exactly. But you can select the whole range. It's fine. But then when I click comma, the formula is asking me for the column index number. I need to count where I started. In my case, I started in invoice. This is important. You don't start counting from here. I started from here. So this is number 1 in my range, within my range. And this is number 2. So in my case, I'm going to put column number 2. And then customer. In my case, it's column number 2. And then when I hit comma, I got the range lookup. It has only 2 options: true for approximate match and false for exact match. I'm going to select the exact match. Exact match, which is false. And then I close the formula with parentheses. And even if I'm in another sheet, because I was doing the formula in analysis sheet, then I go enter, boom, and I got my result. So I can start playing with this. Every time I change the invoice, it's changing the customer. That's with the VLookUP. This is the formula, VLookUP. What is the disadvantage with this? That in this case, for me, Charles, I selected this area, right? But imagine that I don't want to bring the customer. Imagine that I want to bring the total. Because you put it, yeah. But what is the disadvantage here? First, I cannot select the product. If I want to include the product, I need to move the invoice to the beginning. That's 1. 2, other disadvantage. I need to count. For example, if I want to bring this field, which is the total, the last field, I need to come and start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The yellow is the 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13. Let's say 13. So you have to keep that count, that annoying count, in order if you want to bring the total. But this is just for practice. We prefer to use the XLookUP. I'm going to show you how easy it is to use the XLookUP. Even for this example, I'm going to use it to bring the product, which is behind, okay? I'm going to use it to bring the product, just to show you the advantage. I'm going to put here product. I'm going to bring the product just to make it. So equals XLookUP, okay? The lookup value, yeah, the XLookUP has more attributes. Remember, you can move this. The first one is the lookup value. This is going to be my lookup value, the same. Then comma, now I don't have a table array. I have a lookup array. So my lookup array is this one, the array of the invoices. I go to the bar. This is very important. I don't go back to the sheet that I'm working. I go back to the bar. Then comma. Then it's asking me the return array. Here, I don't need to bother about moving these columns. I just need to highlight whatever I want to bring. If I want to bring the total, for example, as I showed you before, I just come here and select. I don't need to count. I don't need to count or to adjust. Yeah. I'm going to bring product. And look, product is behind, is before, is to the left of the invoice field. But it doesn't matter. I just put it. And I have more options in the XLookUP. I'm not going to use them, but I have if not found. I have match mode and search mode. I'm just going to close the parentheses here with 3 attributes: lookup value, lookup array, and return array. And boom, I got my result. If I change it, I got the, so here I'm using the VLookUP and the XLookUp, but it's way better to use the XLookUp, okay? Formula. And the formula. You got it, Charles?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.